live. Oh, we're live? Okay, perfect. Hi, my name is Daniel Liu. I'm the broker for 5-Star Real Estate here in El Paso, Texas. And I want to talk to you folks out there that are getting ready to rent your homes out. Now, renting your home out is a pretty big deal, and you want to make sure that it gets taken care of in the right way. And so what I put together here was a quick video with 5 points of what I would do or how I would interview a property management company. Now, I put myself in your shoes, knowing the information that I know as a real estate broker. And so hopefully you find this information to be very useful. I just don't think there's enough resources out there for people to be able to know exactly how to find the right property management company. So with that being said, your house is typically supposed to appreciate in value. And that typically will happen as long as it's maintained properly and maintained and whatnot. But if it's not maintained or taken care of, the house will actually depreciate in value. And so we want to make sure that doesn't happen to your home. So hopefully with these 5 points that I talk about, we'll be able to properly interview the property management company that is going to take care of your home. So let's get started. Point number 1. I want to know the company. I want to know the real estate company. And so I want to know how long they've been actually practicing real estate. I want to know their broker's experience in property management. Are they a full-service real estate company? Meaning, do they do leasing and property management and work with buyers and sellers and all that stuff? These are all just questions just to get to know the company. What I'm really trying to steer away from is companies that are fly-by-night, just kind of came in and don't really know what they're doing. I want somebody that's very knowledgeable. And so that's the reason why I want to ask those questions as far as what type of company they are. Now, there's a couple other resources that I can go to really dig in a little deeper. And what I would do is I'd go to the Texas Real Estate Commission, or what's also known as TREC, and they are actually the governing board that issues the real estate license for Texas agents and brokers. And there you can get a pretty good snapshot of the company, see if they have any violations against them. As long as they don't have any violations against them, that's a pretty good deal. Although you definitely want to check that out, and there's plenty of information there. A lot of people like to also go to the Better Business Bureau. Well, actually, I come to find out the Better Business Bureau is not a government agency. They're actually a for-profit agency. I could register my company with the Better Business Bureau, pay the annual fee, and have an A rating. Okay? It doesn't really tell me a whole lot about the company. Sometimes people always think, well, bigger is better. I'll just go with the biggest company. Well, sometimes the bigger companies let a lot of the details fall through the cracks. They have agents that they don't train properly, and they end up messing up on managing your property in many different ways. And so with that being said, that's point number 1. I want to get to know the company very well. Second point is, and if I was a person getting ready to interview a company for property management, I would want to know, what type of marketing plan do you guys have in place? What are you going to do for my property to showcase it in its best light? Now, with the MLS, Multiple Listing Service, you could actually put 25 photos up. At a minimum, you're going to have at least 25 photos up for my property, okay? I want to know what type of ways you're going to network it with other real estate agents, okay? Are you going to make a property flyer? Is it going to be a broker blast? I mean, how are you going to get my house leased up fast? What kind of advice would you give me? Would you be able to walk through my house and give me some tips on what I can do to up the curb appeal of my house? And so the marketing plan is a big deal for me. I want to make sure that they have a solid marketing plan and that there's no hesitation. They have to know what they're doing. I don't want anybody coming into my house trying to pitch me on a service and they're fumbling their way through the presentation, or they don't know all the answers, okay? So that's point number 2. Point number 3 is, I want to know, as a property owner, how do they treat the tenants? What type of relationships do they have with the tenants? And what I mean by that is, typically tenants are living in your house, and if they feel like they're not being neglected, they feel like they're attentive to their needs, they take better care of the house. If they're neglected, if service orders get neglected, if things break in the house and the property management company is nowhere to be found, then the tenant tends to not care. And they'll let things like leaky faucets continue to drip, and they'll let things like leaky roofs continue to drip because you know what? They've made every attempt to try to contact the property management company and they ignore them. And so I want to know if they're able to properly communicate with the tenants. How easy are they going to make it for the tenants to be able to pay their rent? Okay? I would love the convenience of being able to pay my rent online. Okay? I would love to be able to get my reports on my rent rolls or whatever the case may be online. So does the company offer any kind of web-based portal for the tenants? That would be one of my points. The fourth point is, how does the property management company treat the owners? Okay? Is the property management company really looking after my best interest? In the tenant screening, are they properly doing not only just the credit checks, not only just the background criminal checks, but what about the work references? What about making sure that they have a steady paying job, and how long have they been there? Do they check the work references? You know, that makes a big deal for a lot of owners, is that they get these tenants in there that have these jobs that they haven't reference checked them, and as a result they end up getting fired or whatever the case, and they're jumping from job to job to job, and in the meantime your rent is always late. And so I want to make sure that they are properly screening the tenants. Also, how am I going to get my money? What's the easiest, fastest way for me to get my money? Does the property management company offer electronic fund transfer, where they can transfer the money directly into my account? Okay. What about reports? Do I have access to reports without having to call my property management company and asking for them? Like, what if I wanted to get online to my own private owner portal for my property at 12 o'clock at night? Could I look and check to see if the tenant has paid their rent on time? I would love to have that type of access. And so that's the fourth point, is what type of relations do they have with the owners? How do they treat the owners? What type of technology is available for the owners? And the fifth point, which is probably one of the most important ones, is references. You better come with references, because if you don't come with references, you're not going to get very far. I not only want references from owners, I want references from tenants, okay? And I want to make sure that the tenants and the owners speak highly of this company. And I think that's a very, very important part of interviewing a property management company. These 5 points, I think, will give you a good start. Now, it's not all encompassing, but hopefully that in the length of time that we have with this video, that we can at least give you some good information. Now, obviously, I'm with 5 Star Real Estate. I am the broker, and we are a full-service real estate company, okay? And these 5 points that I spoke about today, we actually practice those in all of our property management files that we have. So with an owner of the property, we treat our owners with the utmost respect. We pride ourselves on excellence in customer service. And we know that as we treat our owners better and our tenants better, that we will continue to have repeat business and service. We pride ourselves on our name. We hope to live up to our 5-star name. And with that being said, there's probably a lot more questions that you might have. And so I want to ask you that if you would feel free to call me. I'll answer my phone. I actually answer all the phones from the office. They go directly to my cell phone. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have over the phone, or if you want to meet in person, talk about property management. There's actually a lot more than what I'm going to discuss here in this video, but at least this gives us a start. And so with all that being said, I thank you very much for tuning in, and we will see you